for his teammates. Always available, ready to go to work. Speaking of work, Kendrick Nunn put some work on Sharp.
Just over 3 years ago, Kendrick Nunn finished second in Rookie of the Year voting behind Ja Morant. As of today, he's out of the NBA and in talks with multiple basketball clubs in Europe. Kendrick Nunn isn't the only NBA veteran point guard that was getting minutes just a year ago and currently out of a job. Who are they? Why are they out of the league? And do I think they can get back into the NBA? But first, today's video is sponsored by DraftKings. Guys, it's October, which means regular season basketball is back, and another year of watching somebody's favorite team throw away a double-digit lead in the fourth quarter. DraftKings Sportsbook is dishing out an exciting offer to get you in on the action. Download the DraftKings app, sign up using my promo code Kane, and new customers that bet $5 on a wager will get $200 in bonus bets instantly. That's right, new customers can bet just $5 on any basketball game and get $200 in bonus bets into your account instantly. You can stay in on the action and use your $200 in bonus bets on DraftKings' same game parlays for a shot at an even bigger payout. Combine multiple bets together from the same game, such as a player's points, rebounds, and steals. Now, if you're already a DraftKings customer, no problem. All customers can get a no-sweat same-game parlay or a same-game parlay extra if your bet doesn't hit. Max reward limits apply. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers use my promo code Kane and bet just $5 on any wager and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. That's promo code Kane, only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Back in the 2019-2020 season, Kendrick Nunn scored 112 points in the first 5 games of his career with the Miami Heat, and that was the most points scored by a rookie over 5 games since Kevin Durant did it back in 2008.
He's just taking advantage of all the opportunities, and he's playing within the concepts of team basketball. He's super efficient.
Nunn is an undrafted point guard out of Illinois, and he's another one of those guys that the Miami Heat seem to find out of nowhere. They come into the Heat system, and you're saying to yourself, wait, why didn't we pick him up? All 30 teams could have. He was originally with the Golden State Warriors. He was in training camp with them and played on their G League affiliate, but they eventually let him go. Nunn during that season was pretty shifty with his dribble, especially off the pick and roll or a dribble handoff. He was able to get defenders moving one way with his head fakes. He'd get the guy moving back and pull for a quick off the dribble 3. A lot of what he was doing felt sustainable. Every team is looking for a point guard that can stretch the defense at the 3-point line. But a few things held him back from signing long-term with the Heat after his rookie year. He had a lot of competition for shots when you don't factor in Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo. Tyler Herro was breaking out, so he was a focus on offense. They also had Goran Dragic at point guard. If Nunn isn't scoring the ball, he's not providing much for you, so he's going to lose playing time if his shot is off. He's also only 6'2", so he can't scale up defensively. He can only really guard one position. The Heat decided to let him go in the summer of 2021, and he signed with the Lakers in free agency, but missed that entire first year because of a knee injury, and that zapped some of his quick twitch athleticism. He's had a strange last 36 months, a year off due to injury, then only playing 39 games with a terrible Lakers team, and his final NBA season with the Wizards, where he's just there to eat up guard minutes on a bad team. That was the last we saw of him. I still feel like he could get one more shot. He wasn't that bad in Washington. The last official news we've heard is that Nunn is signing to a team in Greece, but no updates since. There are other rumors about him playing in Serbia, but no confirmation of anything at the moment. There's no official reason why he's gone, but teams might not be too interested in a 6'2" guard that's inconsistent as a scorer, nearing 30 years old and declining athletically. The last time Alfred Payton played an NBA game was during the 2022 playoffs with the Phoenix Suns. The last time he was an actual contributor was the year before with the New York Knicks, where he started in 63 games. But we did see him this past preseason, not with an NBA team, but with the Taipans. They are a professional team in Australia, and he came in as an emergency backup against the Toronto Raptors, and he was kind of going crazy in moments in that game. He was moving with some serious speed. You saw someone that is trying to get back into the league and looking for a job. When he was still playing high-pressure NBA basketball, he tortured Knicks fans during those days. If you're a Knicks fan or just remember those 2 years when he was on the team, You remember how much slander he got for his shot selection and decision making as a passer? Sometimes he was late on a skip pass, or he wouldn't even notice the open man at all. Everyone was wondering why head coach Tom Thibodeau gave him so much leeway on the court. In the 2021 playoffs, Alfred only played in 2 out of the 6 playoff games against the Hawks because at that point, he was such a negative as an offensive player that Tom Thibodeau had no choice but to dust off Derrick Rose for major minutes. There just wasn't many options for the Knicks to go to. He made his mark in the league because of his athleticism, and he was always connected to his man on defense. He had a pretty good rookie year. He won Rookie of the Month, but his lack of a catch-and-shoot three-point shot and pull-up jumper was always a problem. Teams always went underneath his screens, and that mucked up the offense for everybody else he was playing with. Not to mention, he's also a career 62% free throw shooter, which is horrible for a 6'3" point guard. I'm not expecting it. He's probably not coming back into the league, but there's a small chance. He's 29 years old. The Pacers recently signed him and cut him, but his lack of an outside shot and free throw shooting is such a problem. He would have to show a sizable improvement during workouts and scrimmages. The last time we saw John Wall step foot on an NBA court was this past year in January when he dropped 16 points and 7 assists on the Denver Nuggets. This past July, he held a private workout with some teams including the Boston Celtics and Portland Trail Blazers. It's October and he's still unsigned. Maybe I'm just delusional, but I'm honestly surprised that John Wall didn't get a 1-year quote-unquote final season tour with the Washington Wizards. This is probably the right time. That team is going to be awful, so why not have Wall back on a 1-year minimum deal? The experiment with the Clippers did not work out how they thought. Remember, he checked in as the first guard off the bench for the Clippers on opening night versus the Lakers just over a year ago. That wasn't that long ago, and now he can't get a backup job in DC for one more season where he plays maybe every other game. Who would he be stealing minutes from? Tyus Jones, DeLon Wright? Yeah, those guys are better than him, but neither of those guys need development minutes. Maybe teams think his presence would cause an issue. He'd complain about minutes. Teams probably prefer a lower maintenance bench guy that will exist in the background. The Wizards must not believe that he would take on like a DeAndre Jordan role where he'd accept not playing almost every night. That has to be the reason. If you remember, one of the first things he said after signing in LA was that I don't have to be Batman anymore. Yes, he's pretty much a shell of himself. We know he can barely get around a screen on defense. He can't explode and change speeds when attacking the basket like he could 6 years ago. His jump shot is broken, but I mean, he just had 16 and 7 in his last game. I mean, he's not completely cooked. He's getting there, but he's still posting workouts every month on his Instagram, so he's staying ready in case he gets a call that's probably not coming. I get why a team like Portland wouldn't do it, but the Wizards, this is the perfect time since the team is completely irrelevant this year. Unlike some of the other guys in this video, Ricky Rubio was the one that left the NBA behind. He still has maybe 1 or 2 good NBA years left in him when he comes back, but he said he's stepping away from the game to focus on his mental health. Does that mean he's going to come back in a year, 2 years? Age is catching up to him. He's 33 years old and has barely seen the floor the past year because he tore his ACL. And if you know anything about Ricky Rubio's career, you know he's been derailed by injuries pretty much his entire life. The fact that he was still able to carve out a starting role after multiple lower body injuries that took away his quick first step is impressive. He's basically been playing high pressure pro basketball since he was 14 years old, so it makes sense that he wants a break. Again, he's had a pretty nice career after an inconsistent run with the Timberwolves, where he was basically asked to be the savior of the franchise at the time. Back in 2018, he helped the Jazz make the second round of the playoffs. He was a part of that Suns team that went undefeated in the bubble. They had a brand new starting lineup with Booker, Bridges, and Cam Johnson. They looked like an actual in-sync NBA offense. Devin Booker got to do more stuff off the ball since they had Rubio to set him up. It's not going to be remembered by many, but he had a nice little run with the Cavs in 2022 before the ACL injury. He was in the 6th Man of the Year race. He was one of the contenders for that award before the injury. Again, I think he has another year left in him, but he's going to be 34 or 35 years old by the time he comes back. He's already slowing down athletically, but I wouldn't be surprised if a team picks him up for one of those end-of-the-bench veteran roles. And that's it for me. Which of these point guards do you think will get back in the league first? I would say Kendrick Nunn. He's kind of cooked, but he's still an NBA rotation guard. He wasn't that horrible in Washington. He had some moments. Appreciate it if you made it to the end of this one. I'll see you guys soon.